What's going on? Welcome to the video. Since you clicked this one, I'm gonna guess that you want to be a YouTuber or you want to do YouTube. And I am someone who is now a full-time YouTuber, and I was just like you. I wanted to do it so badly. And along the way, I made a ton of mistakes that had I not done them, I probably would have grown far faster and become a full-time YouTuber way faster. And so many channels that you watch and that I watch, I remember thinking like, how did they just instantly become so great? And that's not the case. Like I may have talking's tough. I may have over 80,000 subscribers now, but before I was a channel just like yours. I had under 1,000 subscribers, under 100 subscribers, and I was still pumping out content. So in this video, I'm gonna walk through the 7 biggest mistakes that I made as an aspiring YouTuber so you can make sure to avoid them. And I would stick around to the end because you're probably doing at least one of these. And I'll also make sure to sprinkle in some of that YouTube secret sauce to help you grow on YouTube far faster. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So if you're brand new to the channel and you're seeing my face for the first time, I'm really happy that you are. My name is Ben and I'm a full-time social media strategist. What is that, you may say? Well, a social media strategist like myself, I am obsessed with helping creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners grow on social media and make money from social media. So if that's something that you are looking to do, this is the channel for you. Be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell button so you never miss a video that can help you do those things. So the nature of today's video, you want to be a YouTuber and I want to help you. And the best way to help you is to learn from my mistakes. So let's go through, let's roast myself and then talk about what I should have done instead to grow far faster. The first thing that I did, which was an absolute mistake, was just making content for me. And you can absolutely make content for yourself that no one is going to want or to find if you come into it understanding that this is for you. The fact that you can post videos to YouTube and host them there for free is awesome. And it's a great place to store memories if that's your goal. But chances are, since you clicked this video, you want to turn YouTube into a business. And the problem with that is if you're not solving a problem for a specific group of audience or providing value to a specific group of audience, you can't expect to grow. And that was the mistake that I made. I was making videos about my life, and as much as I hate to admit it, my life wasn't that interesting, and it's still not that interesting. So naturally, people didn't care. So after pumping out vlog after vlog after vlog about the stuff that I was going through, which was so normal and didn't really provide any value, I eventually came to the conclusion that I need to be value focused. And that's super important for you and probably something you might be doing right now. You might be sharing, and that's great. But if it's not providing value to an end user and there's not an easily identifiable specific reason or specific point of value to watch your videos and to subscribe to your channel, you can't expect subscribers and you can't expect views. So shift your perspective from you to them, meaning the audience. The audience will make or break you. So focus on them and you will win in the long run. Okay. Make it value focused. Don't be like me, just blindly creating vlogs like I'm some sort of Kardashian and expecting people to care, because you're going to learn what I did. They don't. And before any of you comment down below, oh, this vlog channel grew so quickly. Yes, that's still absolutely possible if you're incredibly unique, but even those vlog channels, there's a specific point of value for a specific audience. Value driven, value focused, focus on the viewer. The second huge mistake I made, which was really just a massive time suck, was wasting time on stupid things that really didn't matter. So I was obsessed with getting to that 1,000 subscriber threshold because I wanted to be monetized so bad. And I was really willing to do whatever it took to get there, even doing something as stupid as doing sub for sub. So I would go through videos on small YouTube channels and comment sub for sub in hopes that they would subscribe back to me. And of course it did work because these other small channels are just as desperate as I am to grow, but it is the worst use of your time for a few reasons. Naturally, if they're busy creators, it's very unlikely they're going to be an actual consumer of your content and they're not going to be a fan of yours. Second, your biggest resource is YouTube itself. There's no one who can help you grow faster than YouTube and creating great content that YouTube will push. So that should be your focus. Should be creating content, getting better at creating content, and getting better at YouTube and the stuff that I teach, understanding how YouTube functions and how they distribute content. Your time is way better put there than on stupid gimmicky tactics like sub for sub. I spent hours doing this and I'm not proud to admit it, but I spent so much time doing this for a stupid number that really didn't matter because these subscribers, although it made me feel better for a small amount of time, they weren't watching my views. They weren't going to be a long-term subscriber or a consumer of my products or anything of the sort. They were not helping me achieve the actual goal. So put your time to things that can actually actually move you forward and move the needle, and don't waste stupid time on gimmicks like sub for sub. Don't do it. The third mistake is one that's probably my most embarrassing thing that I've ever done on social media, but I was grinding away on YouTube. I understood how YouTube worked at a pretty deep level. I'd like to say I definitely obviously know it way better now, but I bought views. I bought views on a specific video because I was just frustrated. And I'm sure that plenty of you have been in the same position. Maybe you are right now. You think you're putting out what's great content. You think you're putting in all the time and effort, but you're not seeing any returns for the investment that you've put forward. Trust the process here and understand that a quick win, like anything in life, if you can get something super quickly, you're gonna lose it just as fast, and it's not worth what it took to get that. So the same is true for this example. When I paid for those views, I went over to Fiverr and I purchased a gig that said, oh, it's all legit promotion. It's obviously not legit promotion. How could they bring you thousands of views in that small amount of a time? And especially, there's no way they're targeted. So it totally defeats the purpose of what a viewer should be for you, which is a potential long-term subscriber and consumer of your content. There's no way these 5,000 likely fake people were ever going to be a fan of my content. I regret it. I will never get those $30 back, and it did absolutely nothing for me. So learn from my mistakes. Again, this kind of builds off the last one, but don't waste any time on gimmicks when YouTube is already your best friend. Focus on that, okay? Do not buy views. As much as it may be tempting, it's not worth it. The fourth tip is one that I still struggle with today, and I am actively trying to improve upon it, and that is just inconsistency. You have to understand that constantly as you go through YouTube and as all of the users navigate through YouTube, this content that shows up is all done strategically by the data that YouTube collects. So they're constantly making different decisions as to if they should show this video, this channel, or that channel. And there's so many variables that come into play, but one of them is absolutely consistency. And you have to think about it logically. If YouTube knows that there's two options for a video that are very similar quality for this independent video, but one channel shows up all the time, replies to comments, and is constantly posting and showing up for any audience that they provide them, obviously they're gonna show that channel versus one that is incredibly sporadic and inconsistent. So give yourself the chance for YouTube to love you. Show up consistently. As a byproduct of that, by you consistently making videos, you're going to get better at making videos. You're gonna get better at navigating YouTube and creating for YouTube. Like I've said so many times, that is the key. That is the ticket to growth, is really understanding how this whole thing ticks. But how you do this whole thing even way faster is not just simply by being consistent, by being thoughtful while being consistent. And what I mean by that is consciously note the things that you're doing, try different things, and really experiment to see what works versus what doesn't. Eventually, if you try enough things, if you throw enough at the wall, something's going to stick. But you have to actually have the opportunity and stuff out there to see if it sticks. So that only comes through showing up consistently. It's the best and most important thing that you can do as a small creator to get better. The fifth mistake that I made is one that is so easy to do, and that is trying to copy or directly emulate other YouTubers. I grew up with YouTube. Chances are a lot of you did too, and you spend a ton of time watching YouTube creators, and I know I did. And if you spend enough time with someone, which you basically are when you watch someone's video, naturally they spill over onto you. Their mannerisms, you pick them up. The things that they say, you start saying them. It's a very natural human thing, and it is so easy to see their success, think about how you felt and how connected you were to them, and just try to copy them. And I did that myself. Like, I remember even trying to copy my favorite YouTubers like Christian Guzman, Casey Neistat, which was an absolute failure. I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
But you get what I'm saying. When you spend that much time watching someone, it's so easy to try to copy them and think that that is the code to success. Important quote that I want you to consider that will help you on YouTube tremendously. Different is better than better. I heard that quote from Sean Cannell from Think Media. I'm not sure the original source, but why that's so important is because that spot in the marketplace that's been filled by your favorite creator, it's been filled. There's no other opportunity. So if you attempt to be that, you're not going to find success. But if you are just naturally yourself, you're far more likely to find success. Plus, even if the off chance that you copied someone and you still found success, how tiring is that going to be having to maintain that act? It's not going to be fun because it's not you. Understand that being yourself is the best and most important thing you can do. And it's not easy on YouTube. It takes time. I go back and watch my old videos. And I'm like, who is that dude? Why is he talking like that? And there's so many things because it takes time. It takes repetitions. But starting out with you, wherever you are right now, and kind of finding yourself as you go is the best thing that you can possibly do for success on YouTube. So do you and figure it out and understand that where you are and who you are today is not going to be where you end up. But to get to that place where you're supposed to go and where your dreams are, you can't get there without trying things, falling, and figuring it all out. For example, for myself, I started off my videos, like I said, in vlogs and videos videos about my ACL reconstruction surgery. And now I'm a social media strategist and I help brands and businesses. And I run an agency now that's all dedicated to social media. I couldn't have even told you that I would have gotten there. And I only did because I was pumping out videos about things that I was passionate about, and people resonated with my unique advantage, which was my approach and my understanding of social media platforms and how to leverage them. So you may end up in a totally different space, but you don't get there until you're true to yourself and you show up consistently, okay? So be you, do you, and yeah, that's what you should do. If you're learning anything about YouTube or you are enjoying hearing about my mistakes and failures, take 2 seconds and smash the like button down below. I will love you forever. And rumor has it, you get 7 years of good YouTube luck just for doing that. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're looking to grow on social media and make money using social media, okay? Click the subscribe button and the bell button. Welcome. The 6th mistake. That is 6, yeah. The 6th mistake I made is a massive mistake, and I see the vast majority of YouTubers make it all the time. And it's not understanding the importance or near necessity of being very strategically focused on YouTube. I love YouTube more than anything. It is my favorite social media platform by far, and that is because it is a search engine. It is the only social media platform that is also a true search engine. It's the 2nd largest search engine in the world. How many times can I say search engine in one video? But why that's so crucial is because they are the best at getting the right content in front of the right people. You have the longest content lifespan out of any other social media platform, and all of your wins, they compound over time. But why it's so important to understand this is because you need to speak to that search engine element. It is very computer centric. So I've mentioned earlier how YouTube's constantly deciding what videos to show, and that is what I call the computer side of YouTube. But there's also a human element to it as well. And what I mean by this is the things that you feed YouTube in terms of the metadata, the keywords that you're using, all of the back-end stuff is what I call speaking to the computer. But if you don't combine that with human elements in terms of storytelling through your title, really creating a captivating title and a complimentary thumbnail, if you don't do those things in tandem, you're not going to win on YouTube. And let me give you an example. So say you are a tech review channel and you wanted to do a review on this microphone, Video Mic NTG, which is what this Rode video mic is. Say you would do your research and you saw that a ton of people are searching for this exact mic. That's all they're typing into the keyword search bar. If you just stopped there and you didn't have a complimentary thumbnail, you just use a default one, and your title was literally just Video Mic NTG, that's not going to work. If you do everything right on the back end of YouTube, you may rank there temporarily, but you have to understand, even though a computer is deciding what shows up on someone's screen, it's a human being deciding to click it or not. So you have to complement both sides of YouTube to really get the most out of it. Never forget that it may be a computer deciding what shows up, but it's a human clicking it. That is the most important thing that you need to understand. I think I've said that like 4 or 5 times, but it's because a lot of this stuff is really, really important. So how you would complement the human side of this is you would have more of a captivating title. So maybe it's Video Mic NTG review, and then add an additional, what I call a psychological trigger, saying if it's a very expensive mic, which this one kind of is it worth the money? Or are the new features worth it? Something like that. And why that's important is because I'm really speaking to the human. Naturally, if someone's typing, even if they just type in Video Mic NTG into the search bar, what are they actually looking for? They're looking for a review. So I'm telling them that that's what this is. And then the additional psychological trigger is really just enacting emotion. Naturally, if they're looking for a really expensive mic, they're probably asking themselves that exact question. So when they come across that title, they're gonna say, wow, this guy's in my mind. This is the exact video that I need to click. And then how you bring that whole thing home is by having a complimentary thumbnail. So a great looking image of this, and maybe even some question marks for the price or whatever it is, but it should be complimentary to the title and not just exactly what you said in the title. It should really tell a story. And then if you throw a great video on top of that, YouTube will love you. But that's the most important thing you need to understand. Search engine that is both computer focused and human focused. I really hope that made sense, but that understanding is one of the most important shifts that I can try to provide to you. And it's one that has created so many light bulb moments with my consulting clients for YouTube that once they really grasp that, it changes their entire perspective. So I hope it has that impact for you. It certainly did for me, my channel, and all the other channels that I help on YouTube. The 7th mistake is the most common YouTube mistake that I see, and it's not even close. The most amount of people make this mistake, and that is simply not starting or waiting to start. It is so easy to convince yourself that it's too late, or to listen to the negative people in your life saying you could never do that, or let the self-doubt sink in to say, I could never show up on on camera, I'm not good looking enough, or any of those things. That is all noise. Instead of thinking about all the reasons why you can't, think about all the reasons that you can and what it would do for your life if it were to work out. Because the worst case scenario is it doesn't. But the thing with social media, and especially YouTube, is if you keep working and you keep getting better, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that is the biggest thing that I try to drive home to all of my clients and to every friend that I help with their channel is if you keep getting better and you keep doing it, it's not if, it's when. Get into the mindset of starting now and understanding that your first video is going to suck ass. It's going to be so bad. I look back on my first video and I cringe. I'm like, oh my Lord, what is that? And who is that guy? And what's wrong with his hair? And why is he so fat? But I digress. It's a starting point. You build. And the best part about YouTube is it all compounds. So the wins that you get today and the slow bits of growth, they all compound and they lead you to where you're eventually going to go. So let this video be what gets you off your ass, gets you starting to create videos and swallowing your pride, because understanding that everyone's first video sucks. You're no different than that. You're not special. That should be empowering because everybody's first video sucked. Mine were terrible. If you want to see them, they're currently unlisted on YouTube, but if you really want them, maybe I'll send you a link or something like that. But you're going to suck. It's part of the process and you have no idea where you could get to if you don't start. And in order to stop sucking, you have to start sucking, meaning you have to be shit to become good. Okay. So those are the 7 biggest YouTube mistakes that I made and I see so many YouTubers make. So get started. Rewatch this video if you need to. Make this be what gets you started because YouTube is life-changing. I see it change people's lives every single day. I see it help people grow their business. And I love helping people grow on YouTube. So if that's something you're looking to do, this fast talking individual would love to help you do it. So don't forget to join the team and click the subscribe button. There's plenty more videos coming to help you do just that. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you in the next video. And also don't forget to click one of these videos that will help you grow on YouTube. They're about to pop up in 3, 2, 1, boom.